2014 is supposed to be a year of action, according to U.S. President Barack Obama. He's put creating jobs in American factories at the top of his economic agenda. In its heyday, manufacturing made up of 40% of U.S. workers. Now it's less than just 10%. Between 2000 and 2009, 6 million jobs disappeared from the country's plants. Then, a turnaround. The U.S. economy has created more than 600,000 manufacturing jobs since 2010. Some economists and politicians are calling it a renaissance. Others, including a former auto industry expert for the Obama administration, say they are not convinced. This week, we take a closer look at both sides of that argument. We will also find out what kinds of companies are hiring. We begin our coverage right now in the eastern part of the country. 3 years ago, the Chesapeake Bay Candle Company moved jobs from Vietnam to the U.S. state of Maryland, so it can finally make candles there on the Chesapeake Bay. Jessica Stone reports.
Light a candle and you welcome more than illumination. Indeed, in the global marketplace, a candle is a home decoration, a mood setter, a sign of celebration.
People call it affordable luxury. You don't have to use candle every day, but it really makes people happy. We sell our product.
David Wang is co-founder of Chesapeake Bay Candle. For 20 years, the company has been designing and making candles.
Every culture has a tradition of making candles. The ancient Chinese used wax made of insects. The ancient Romans used animal fat. But Chesapeake Bay Candle Company isn't just concerned about what's in the candle, but what it does for the whole room. This is not just about providing light.
No, it's more about the fragrance, aromatherapy, and also a good decor.
The company's chemists fuse dozens of colors with hundreds of fragrances to keep their candles on the cutting edge. As a young graduate student in geophysics at China's Beijing University, David Wang himself was not planning to leave the lab.
To make a candle burn perfectly, you have to have a good formulation. So I think my science background does help.
What David and business partner Mei Xu began in their basement with some soup cans and a cooking pot led to their first candle-making factory in China in 1995, and a second one in Vietnam 7 years later. David watched as the value of the Chinese yuan rose against the dollar, and American customers demanded quicker delivery.
So the cost advantage in China and other Asian countries has no longer as significant as before.
So in 2011, Chesapeake Bay Candle began manufacturing its candles in the United States, moving jobs from the factory in Vietnam. The opportunity came at a good time for Maurice Owens, who had been unemployed for 6 months.
It's on the subway line, it's on the bus line, and when you have a car, you know you definitely can get there. So it's been a blessing for a lot of us.
Wang says he's paying half of what electricity costs in China, and rent here is much cheaper. But best of all, he says he can now target American customers who want products made in the USA.
We have many buyers. They specifically ask to have their candles made in this U.S. factory.
Has that increased your local business as a result?
Yes. And we hope it will be more and more down the road.
Wang's partner, Mei Xu, has shared the company's story at the top levels of the U.S. government, alongside President Barack Obama, who has pledged to create 1 million new manufacturing jobs by 2016. David Wang says while the U.S. government can create incentives for insourcing, it has to make good business sense for the manufacturer. Here in Maryland, the company expects to triple its production capacity by next year and sees more room to grow.
I think this will be a main growth engine for our business in the next 10 years or 20 years.
All because of a bright idea to make light into home fashion. Jessica Stone, CCTV, Glen Burnie, Maryland.